Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Family Showdown live and random. No, just kidding. We actually have a plan. Today is top 10 board game expansions, our favorites. So, be thinking about what your favorites are because, of course, we're going to ask you what your favorites are too. And see if we mention yours. Or maybe not.
Or maybe not. Alright. Expansions. So, I don't have a list in front of me.
So, it's a surprise for everyone.
I want to open this by saying, early on in our board gaming career, if you want to call it a career,
We're not making any money. Are we making money?
Our resurgence into board gaming, we were very hesitant to buy any expansions.
Yep.
We avoided them like the plague.
Unclean.
Because we always thought, the base game is so amazing. We don't need to mess it up by buying something else, right?
Still true.
So we really bought like very, very, very few expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Only the expansions that were like highly critically acclaimed, like you must get this expansion or it makes the game tons of better. And even then we're like, do we really need to get an expansion? And then the bubble burst and now we buy them all the time.
Yeah, but my opinion hasn't changed a whole lot. I'm still like, I like this game. Don't see why we have to mess with it. But you, however, are like, must have more of this game.
Yes and no. So, what expansions really do for us more than anything is it gives us a reason to play a game again.
Yes.
Because we play repeat games so infrequently.
Not frequently enough, it's true.
That an expansion gives us an excuse to get the game out and play it again. So that's one thing. A lot of expansions make it better. A lot of expansions make it too much. So it's really difficult for an expansion to like really wow us, right? So that said, we do have a list that did wow us apparently.
Yeah.
So I don't have my list in front of me. I'll get it in a second. But I had like a good 30 expansions on my list before I narrowed it down. At least. So this list was really hard for me to make because we got a lot of good expansions. And after that whole caveat, we do have a lot of good expansions because we do the research. We really only get expansions for games that we love, love, love. We rarely buy an expansion for a game that we're kind of about, right? True. It's ones that either you love or I love or that we both love.
Yeah.
More often not that we both love.
Yep.
So they're all good, so it's like, okay, how do I narrow this down? And I kind of did a few little rules to decide on how to narrow it down. I said, okay, it's usually an expansion we'll never play without. We'll never play without. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's that proper English there? It's an expansion we'll always play with when we play.
Yes.
Even and for the most part, even when we're bringing new players in,
we'll
still use the expansion because it makes the game that much better.
True.
So that kind of that's one way I narrowed it down. The other one was I didn't really add any more of the same expansions.
Okay.
Well, expansions that just like give you more of the same stuff. It's something that really tricks up the game and makes it better. So, how did you make your list? That's kind of how I made my list.
Mine was completely like the opposite of what he did because I was like 10 expansions, and I came up with 10 that for me were like totally changed the game experience for me. I'm like, that's good. I'll rank these. So I guarantee that you're going to mention something I'm like, oh, I should have thought of that. Because part of the problem with me is I forget that we add an expansion into a game. And if it's not in a separate box or it was something that was so dramatically different, I've forgotten I consider it part of the base game. So this could be exciting.
Yeah.
But for me, I ranked them by how much the expansion, like, improved the gaming experience for me. So the ones in my top 5 like really changed the game. The bottom 5 are they changed the game a little bit, but I just really enjoy them with it. Like it didn't change like how you play the game so much.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. You'll kind of see. I mean, the degree of change in the game, I think, changes in my top 5 versus my bottom 5.
Okay,
so
fair enough. Welcome to those joining. We're going to jump right in.
Yes.
And I guess I'm go first now. So weird.
You're the one that started this nonsense. I just want to say. Oh,
all right.
Hello, lady.
All right.
Ladies here, too.
All right. Here
Right
we go.
underfoot.
So my number 10 is I don't know until I push it because I don't have my list. My number 10 is Stockpile Continuing Corruption.
See, that's one of those that I just consider part of the game. I'll be completely honest.
It's not part of the game. So, Stockpile Continuing Corruption is more the same in the sense that it gives you more, like, leader, whatever you want to call it, your role, your card, your persona cards. But it adds dice to the game. So it takes, in the normal Stockpile, the change how much the stocks are going to change is card driven. So it's, pretty much what's going to happen each turn. You just don't know which one it's going to happen to, if that makes sense. So, certain number are going to go up, certain numbers are going to go down, and they're only going to go down in this range. Whereas the dice adds more more randomness where you can't predict. Okay, well, from what I've seen, I got the ones that are going to go down, so I know everything else is going to go up. You don't know that going into it. It adds a more randomness to it. It does. I mean, the dice are all different. They're not. Each die doesn't have two going up and one going down. There's one that has a lot of ups and a few downs, and then there's one that has lots of downs. So you get the average probably. I haven't done the math on it, but I bet it averages out pretty close to what the cards are, but it adds randomness to what's going to happen. So
there you go.
I really enjoyed that, and I think it helped you out a lot because I do the number crunching on the cards, and I can this adds a little more randomness to it to throw a wrench into my brain.
I tend to plan for random contingencies and not do math so much.
All right, well, there it is. Number 10.
Math games,
Stockpile Continuing Corruption.
That's indeed. It has also narrowed the margin. It's narrowed the margins of victory for you too. Yes, I'm getting closer and closer to you.
It adds bonds too, but we don't really use those too much.
We have a little bit.
All right,
depends on the character you're playing.
All right, what's your number 10?
My number 10 didn't change the game a whole lot, but it just made it really fun, and that is King of Tokyo's Power Up. And this one was one that I really like because. Sure, we have the energy and we can spend them, but now you've got your own special power-ups that when you... It's another reason to roll, like, crazy dice, and if you get one of everything, kind of like a... not a Yahtzee, not all the same, but like one of each, you get one of your power-up cards, and you have special abilities that are only yours, and so it gets kind of fun and crazy, and you're just have more things to throw at the other people, and it's great because it's not so much... so challenging that you can't add that on with new players too, really. Because you could just forget about them and not use them and whatever, or you could be actively trying to roll and get a whole bunch of these and just attack people with it. The special abilities are really fun, and they're unique to each character. So I enjoy them. The kiddos play with them. It's a lot of fun. Power Up.
Yeah, this made my short list. What I like about it is, like you said, it makes everyone unique. I mean, you're kind of unique in terms of buying the cards with the energy, but everyone has the same type of powers, whereas the power-ups are designed for your character.
Just for your character.
It gives you some flavor to your character, that powers that make sense for,
what you have.
What you have, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of them might say extra tail, and your character may not even have a tail on the ones, but this one's specific to exactly what your monster's about.
Yep, it's pretty awesome.
Good one.
I like it.
Didn't make my list. Spoiler, but good one.
Way to spoil it. Everyone can just go home now. I'm just kidding.
My number 9 is game we just played. Jamaica the Crew.
Yeah, that's part of the game to me now already.
Yeah.
If that tells you how much I like it.
Yeah.
It's part
We've only played this once. We played this at our game day recently, and
I played it twice.
No.
Really? Wow. Okay.
And
wow.
It went over really well. I really enjoy it for 2 reasons. One reason is now if you play with the crew and you take the crew out, your base game is even more simplistic to teach a new player. But
True.
The crew itself, it takes a lot of in Jamaica, it's a race game, but you can collect treasures along the way. And in the base game, your treasures can be powers. Like you might get better at combat, or you might add a hull to your ship, or it might let you re-roll some dice or something like that. But in Jamaica the Crew, it takes all those special powers and puts them on crewmen that you can add to your ship.
Cool.
And it adds even more powers beyond what's in the base game. So it takes all the base game special powers and adds to them. just a really cool thing. You can steal them. You can throw them overboard if you don't want them anymore. It's just it adds a lot of flavor. Makes it a little more gamery to me than the base game is with Jamaica.
Well, it's fun because if you get a really cool character, next thing you know, people are actively trying to engage you in battle so that they can swipe this guy from you, because that's one of the things you can plunder.
Right.
And so people are like, ooh, I like that one. I think I'll take that over the treasure because it's such a cool power, you know? And so it's a lot of fun.
Nope, I like it.
Love
if
that
you like
game.
Jamaica, this definitely adds some spice to
it's
the
a
game.
blast. More reasons to fight.
Alright, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is a very simplistic, basic edition, but it's one of those we don't think about anymore. But to me, it was like a game changer in that it makes this game sane to play. That's Ticket to Ride USA 1910. We don't think about it a lot now, but those teeny tiny dumb little cards in the original Ticket to Ride will drive you bananas, and it's just so nice to have the normal size cards. Why this is such a thing, I don't know, but for me, when we got that, it was just so much nicer.
Yeah, and I think this also, if I recall correctly, it adds the some new tickets.
So yeah, it added some tickets.
It also adds the bonuses, I think, for most tickets. I think it adds some other stuff besides being the large cards. It adds some other things to it as well.
And it was cool. But I mean, the thing that stood out the most for me were those darn cards.
Well, yeah, you're holding your hand of tickets like this.
And of course, if you don't have what you want, you're collecting 20 of them. Oh, so yeah, that one was just a sanity break for me. I was like, yes, I enjoy playing this game again. It's so awesome.
Yeah, and then of course we bought the anniversary edition, so now that includes
it has all of that in it.
Yeah.
In it. So that was one of the best purchases. That was probably one of our. I think that may be our first expansion we bought. Actually,
I thought we actually may have bought it with the game.
Possibly.
I think we bought them at the same time.
It's possible. So yeah, totally worth it though.
That's a good one. Kind of funny, but good.
Yeah.
My number 8.
It's an oldie, but
is Star Trek Ascendancy: The Ferengi Alliance.
You know, I think of this as part of the base game.
It's not part of the base game.
It's not, and
I love the Ferengi.
Yeah.
Even though I was beaten by them the last time we played. They're my favorite.
Are they really
favorite race? I think so.
Wow.
Because they require more negotiation and diplomacy and trickery and deceit and all that stuff.
Oh, gosh. Yes,
So-
let me trade with you, but I have to have my ships flying around your planet.
So I played everything but the Klingons. I played the Ferengi, the
You haven't, have you?
Cardassians, the Romulans, the Federation. I haven't played the Klingons, and so once I play them, I'll figure out what my favorite race is. But right now,
The Ferengi.
it is the Ferengi Alliance. So
I think I'm going to call it. I think the Ferengi are going to be your favorite. Because the Klingons just go out and attack. There's really no strategy in that. They're just hordes.
Yeah, no,
But
maybe.
Ferengi, you like to mess with people.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, this is my favorite race of Ascendancy. Ascendancy is one of my favorite games, so it only makes sense that the Ferengi Alliance would make my list.
There you go.
What's your favorite race have you played? You've only played 3 so far, right?
Yeah, I still tend to favor the Federation, I think.
Lame.
Sorry. That's how I roll. That's how I roll.
Alright. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is kind of 2 tiny expansions.
Cheat.
Sorry, I'm going to cheat. That's more buildings big and small, and even more buildings big and small that goes with the Agricola all creatures big and small. Or small and
See, this
big.
falls in my more of the same bucket, so...
Yeah, to me, that's why I lumped them together, because the expansions are more of the same. But for this one, I think it added a little more variety than just more of the buildings, because the buildings themselves have quite a bit of variety to them, what they do. So depending on which ones come out can completely change the strategy of how you play. At least for me, that's how I felt when I played it. So I didn't feel like it was exactly more of the same. It kind of spread out some variety.
Well, they're much more. Yeah, the base game itself, even though it's amazing, is very limited in what you can do.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't
and
have very
this
many
was
choices.
like this one to me freshened up the game and made it like worth playing over and over and over. I like to repeat play games, and with this expansion, I can do that. That's what brought it for me.
So good, you buy it from a toy store in France.
Indeed.
Or was it Poland? I can't remember where I got the one of the base
I don't
games.
know what you did.
I found it
You got
online in like some store.
Or was that Italy? Was this the one that was from Italy?
Yeah, it may have been Italy. I don't know.
He's so international these days.
I ordered it from Amazon. I went to all the Amazons and found it on Amazon something and got it.
Such a nerd. Yeah, unfortunately, I it makes me sad to say this. Obviously, from what you just heard, it's not exactly easy to find.
This whole thing is out of print. I don't know why.
I don't either because
don't
it's
know
an
why.
awesome
Especially
game.
when they just came out with Caverna, K versus K.
They should have refreshed
They
this.
should have re-released the Agricola.
I agree.
Well, it meant Z-Man. Z-Man lost the rights.
Oh.
Z-Man lost the rights to Mayfair? I don't know what the order is and who owned what, but maybe someone didn't transfer the rights to it, and that's where it's in limbo.
That could be. But, man, I hope they can fix whatever's going on with that because, yeah, it'd be great to have those out because it just really adds that much more replayability to it. So, there you have it. That is even
It's got to be some
more
kind of
buildings big and
license
small,
problem.
and more buildings big and small.
It's got to be some kind of license problems why they haven't re-released it.
Yeah, because it seems like they've got everything else going, right?
Yep. All right.
All right.
My number 7
Number
is...
7.
My number 7 is... I don't know. I don't know until I push it. Ooh.
Ah.
Orleans trade, but not intrigue.
Yeah.
So Orleans trade and not intrigue.
Half
Adds-
of an expansion.
adds a lot of cool things to Orleans because it not only adds a new board where you send your people to die that's more interesting. It gives you more diverse rewards. It adds contracts to the game, which I really like. They give you another reason to collect all those when you're traveling around the board collecting all those goods. It gives you another reason to collect those goods because you complete those contracts and get more points that way.
Points.
It just adds more choices in the game. It seemed like the other game, it was just a race to collect a little
people dudes.
little people.
So you can use your multipliers and get your points.
However you get those now, there's other ways to get points. You do the contracts, and like I said, the board where you send your people to do good deeds has more choices. Before it was you're trying to play a little game of chicken with the other players to try to get the last coin, to get the last tokens there, to get the bonus. Now you get something when you go there every time. So it just makes the game better. I don't think I would play with the old way anymore. After having that expansion. Now the intrigue side, since I'm saying not intrigue adds attacky things. So you can attack your opponents and do damage and blow up their buildings, and I don't even know what all it does, but it's all take that, and that's not what this game. I don't feel like this game is about that. So
No, I don't know why they did that either. It's like someone just derailed the train. I don't know.
well, some people do like take that, or they like that interaction in the game, even if it's a negative interaction.
Yeah.
Because really for the most part, you're playing solitaire in this game.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. There you go. There you have it.
There you go. There you have it.
So
What's your number 7?
Number 7. An oldie but a goodie again. This changed the game quite a bit for me, and it is Scoundrels of Skullport from Lords of Waterdeep. This was one of those games that we played the tar out of, and we loved Lords of Waterdeep. And then finally one day we bit the bullet. We'd heard a lot of good buzz about Scoundrels of Skullport. And oh my goodness, I don't know that we'll ever play the game without it again because it doesn't add that much complexity to where you couldn't teach it to somebody, I don't think.
I would not.
on who...
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Okay, depending on who you introduce it to. But, if nothing else, your second play, you could easily add this in because it adds that corruption. Sure, you can get more enticing things and more goodies, and it's really awesome, but now you got this corruption and it's negative points, so eventually you want to either try to get rid of those or find some way where those count for you as points or they're negated somehow, something. There's all different varieties of stuff in that, and I just love the twist they put on that game. It's great. So if you like Lords of Waterdeep, but you're kind of, I don't know, feeling stale with it, definitely try Scoundrels of Skullport. That one is super fun, and I love the twist they had.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is an essential expansion, but if you wait, let me finish. Can I finish? If you love Lords of Waterdeep, you have to buy this expansion
see?
because I love the corruption thing. I think it's hilarious because like the game you can take
Oh my
corruption to get
gosh.
more, and then you just build up all this corruption. And then there's a race to get rid of it all and try to
It's so horrible,
if
too.
you end up being the only person with lots of corruption, you are doomed. So you got to watch what everyone else is doing. It's like, okay, they're taking corruption, I'll take a little bit too. And then when they start dumping, you got to start dumping too.
Unless you have one of those bonuses where it doesn't matter, and then you're like, I'll take all the corruption, which you've done before. It's hilarious. Just a mess.
So
Corruption
not
mess.
to interrupt, my number 6. Let's see if I get a better picture.
A better picture. Nope.
Where is it?
Anytime now.
My number
IT.
6 is Lords of Waterdeep, Scoundrels of Skullport, as well. So there you have it.
Because it's that good, people.
So yeah,
Love it.
I unless there's a brand new player that I don't think can handle playing a heavier game, I would not play without this because it's just so. It just adds. It gives you more options. And anytime you can get in a worker placement game and you have more options, I want more options. So, there you go. And everything she said. So,
All right. Let's do this.
more options in worker placement is almost always good.
It is. There you go.
All right. So, what's your number 6? Since we're jumping right over mine. Basically.
My number 6 is the Romulan Empire, but not in Ascendancy. It's in Fleet Captains. Dun dun dun! Yes. Yes. I'm shocked you. Because this, oh my gosh. It was fun. It's fun playing Federation versus Klingons, blah, 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 blah. But we'd been doing that quite a bit. And then to add the Romulans, which also have, like, cloaking abilities, but they do other tricksy things, too. And they've got their own decks and all this kind of good stuff and abilities. And, yeah, more goody goodness. And it's just fun. I don't think I've played the Romulans yet.
No.
You have.
Yes, I played them twice, in fact.
So, yeah, because I think I played the Klingons against your Romulans,
Yes.
if I recall.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It's just so much fun. So much fun. Great expansion.
Yeah, Romulan
Really
Empire.
adds more to the game.
The Romulan Empire
Really
is
cool.
my favorite.
Yeah.
There's not even a close second between the Romulans, the Klingon, and the Federation. We haven't played the Dominion yet, so the boat's still out on that one.
That's true. That
But
could be good.
my number 5 is Star Trek Fleet Captains, the Romulan Empire. Apparently,
Here.
you've looked at my list.
I didn't look.
I
you
made
didn't-
my
I didn't
list
even know-
first.
You didn't even know where your list was, let alone where I knew where it was.
So yeah, I love the Romulans. They
Romulans.
see these Federation are pretty much go out,
Explore stuff.
explore and do things and stay out of trouble for the most part. The Klingons are go and attack and kill everybody, and the Romulans are just so much fun because they can do stuff like take your crew members off your ship and put them on my ship, or put a guy on your ship
Oh, it's insane.
that's a spy and he can mess up your systems and stuff. It is so cool to play the Romulans. It's just you will notice a trend in these kind of games like Ascendancy and Fleet Captains, anything like this, TI3, anyone that can do trickery and weird stuff, that's what I want to play. So, Romulan Empire, unless someone just really wants to try out the Romulans, I'm always going to play the Romulans. I'll try out the Dominion to see what they're like, but Romulans are too cool. Did I sell it enough?
Maybe.
All right, so we're skipping over my number 5 again to your
You
number
didn't
5.
skip over. You just talked about it. My.
I wonder how many
goodness.
crossovers we're gonna have. This is funny. We're having.
I
They're
didn't-
not. What's funny is they're not at the same level. Mine has been one higher than yours. So eventually that's gonna run out, right?
Yeah. Well, what's weird? What's weird to me is you had a list of like 30, and I just did the first big 10 that popped into
Yeah.
my head. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. Okay. Well, we'll see. I've already forgotten some.
So your
I'm
number
sure I'll
5
miss- I'm sure I
is.
missed some.
If your number 5 is my number 4, I'm quitting for the
I
evening.
can guarantee that my number 5 is not your number 4
All right, let's hear it.
because you don't like this game.
Oh, is it Smash Up?
It is Smash Up, as a matter of fact. I would literally consider all of the expansions to count for this, but I in particular picked the Cease and Desist because the Star Trek spoof is in that one, and I find that one highly humorous. Because it also has the Star Wars spoof and I think Battlestar Galactica or something in there. Anyway, regardless, it's fantastic. I love... that's the whole point of Smash Up is the expansions, because the more the merrier in this case, and you get these great factions, and you want to mix and match and try a bunch of different things. It's silly fun. I like this game. And I just like the the girls cracked me up because when we got the Pretty Pretty Smash Up, oh my goodness, did we play that quite a bit. Because of the little fluffy ponies and fairies and those cutesy stuff, the cats that destroy things, they were all over that. So that was highly amusing. But this one's my personal favorite. But yeah, oh gosh. Smash Up, all the expansions, all the things.
So, we have approximately 100 expansions. That includes some promos.
Do we really?
This would not make my top 100.
See, no worries that we're going to have another crossover.
Oh my goodness. This is probably my favorite one out of all of them. Does that mean anything?
No, not really.
This is my favorite expansion. And I haven't even played it, I don't think. Maybe that's why it's my favorite.
We're about to have some technical difficulties, everyone.
Alright, what's my number 4? Let's find out.
Not Smash Up? That's my guess.
Not Smash Up. My number 4 is... Merchants and Marauders Seas of Glory. I'm not going to talk too long on this, since I expect it's going to be higher on someone else's list, unless you forgot about it. Seas of Glory. If you like Merchants and Marauders, you really need to get Seas of Glory, because it is a modular expansion that adds all kinds of cool things. I think there's like 10 modules that come with it, maybe 12. And we probably play with like 8. There's only a handful that we don't play with.
Yep.
And every time we play, we're going to play with those, because anyone that can handle Merchants and Marauders, because it's fairly heavy game.
Yep.
If they can handle that, they can handle the extra stuff. It just takes a little bit longer to teach. But it adds all kinds of stuff. If it adds like specialized crew, you have loyalty, you have morale, you have storms. There's all sorts of cool things it adds to the game. There's a handful that we don't play with. They're like land battles or something weird. There's a few weird things that we don't play with. But for the most part, we play with almost the entire expansion. So,
the storms and everything cracked me up.
Well, the storms radically changed the game, because you may have a plan. Like, okay, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to grab some stuff. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to fight a merchant ship, and then I'm going to go drop the stuff over here. But wait, now there's a storm right here. What do I do now? Let's go into the storm and see what happens.
No, we don't do that.
You have to stop in the storm for it to hurt you, right? I don't know. But anyway,
not a good plan.
I like the loyalty, because if you like give your crew some money and stuff, it makes them happy, and you get special.
Oh, that stupid morale thing!
And the morale gets too low, they mutiny and take over your ship, and it's all kinds of craziness.
It is a train wreck when that happens. Just stay out of the
storms.
storms.
Make them walk the plank. Make your crew walk the plank.
It is such a mess, and every country hates you, and your crew hates you, and the storms hate you. Go ahead.
Why, is it your 3 or 4? Is it your 4?
Yes. It's not higher on my list because it's exactly the same.
Wow. All these expansions
I don't understand how this happened, but yeah.
Hey, our picture's the exact same size. Look at that.
Yeah. Seas of Glory is...
You probably copied my picture out of the picture folder.
No, actually, I made that. So I don't know what you saved it under. But yeah, it's pretty fascinating that this game changed so much, because I mean, we enjoyed it before, but there is something to say about the stuff that's in that expansion that's just, it's hilarious. Watching the storm roll around, and it is just a mess, man. You do not, I spend more energy making sure that I avoid that entirely, because I don't want to deal with the damages and stuff that it does. I mean, it's a mess. And the crew loyalty, oh gosh, it's so much fun though, because the whole time you're like, you know what, I know what'll make them happy, let's go plunder something.
Right.
And it is so, usually you turn to a life of crime at least at some point for a little while during that game. It's greatness. But yeah, I don't know, I really like the changes they made to it. It does take more time to play the game, but it's just more fun. This is one of the few games that the longer it takes, the happier I am, because
but if you're already committing a couple hours to the game, what's adding another one?
Yeah.
No big deal, right?
Yeah.
But this is almost, I mean, when you add in the expansion and you add a lot of the modules, it's hitting the epic game level, right?
It is actually.
It's hitting in that 3-4 hour epic game level, right?
But it is epic, so it works. It's not, at least I feel like it is. Maybe we just ham it up more. I don't know, but it works. It's great.
Anything else?
No, it's awesome.
Well, at least my number 3 is a different one.
Wow, look at you mixing it up. More of Seas of Glory. No.
And I can't say that it won't be on your list. We may get a crossover at this one, too. My number 3 is...
Oh.
Xia, Embers of a Forsaken Star, which you forgot was...
I forgot about that one.
Well, good. You can talk about it, too. So, Xia...
This would be on my list.
I love Xia. But, it has some minor flaws.
Base game, yes.
The base game. So... things like when you're rolling for movement, it's a roll. Part of it's a roll and move game, and if you're rolling, let's say you get some really good engines, and you're rolling a 12-sided die to move.
Mm-hmm.
You may roll a 1 and move 1 space, and then you can go again and roll another 1 and another 1. So it adds modules that mitigate the dice roll. For example, you may add this one module that says your lowest movement will be a 4. So every time you roll, if you roll a 1, you know you're at least go 4 spaces, right? Like I said, it raises your minimum roll up, and for various things, like you're getting a module for guns, a module for your engines, a module for shield, etc., etc.
Life is good.
That's one thing. Another thing, minor flaw in the game, is that sometimes you have 2 places next to each other, planets next to each other, where you get a good and drop off a good. So you can just go back and forth, zip back and forth between those. This introduces an economy system that if you do too much trading of the same type of good, you can't trade it anymore. So
you have to mix it up.
It makes it, your merchanting has to be more diverse. You can't just focus in on one thing. It puts 2-player rules in the book. It puts a 1-player version of the game. It adds all kinds of stuff. It adds comments. It adds a whole new
world,
a whole new resource. I think ice. Is it ice? It's something. Some new resource. Adds a capital city, a capital starbase thing that you can do things at. It adds all these cool things.
You can still fly into the sun. Don't worry.
You can still fly into the sun. So it's just makes the game even better. Again, this is another one that if you can handle Xia, you can handle the expansion, and it improves the game. It just across the board improves the game. So
there you have it. Yeah. Awesome game. This renewed the game for us again because we were like, oh, it's so much fun, but 2 players kind of busted, and with this fixing it, oh my goodness. And the ships, they look gorgeous. This is just a really, really fun game. And for them to make it so that it's really enjoyable 2-player, just, yeah. Whole new level.
Well, we were already playing with basically the same
roles. Yeah, but we
roles.
talked about it before, well, for the most part, but the whole thing with, like you said, with the economy and this and that, it changed it to where it wasn't just a race to see who was going to be merchanting or pirating the fastest in space. It was now, okay, we got to mix it up. You actually need to take some risks.
Well, if someone's doing that merchant trick going back and forth in the base game, you had to go and stop them. It forced you to attack that player. Them. You didn't have any choice but to go and attack that player or try to do what they're doing and interrupt it.
Yeah.
In this game, it's like, okay, you can do that a few times, but you need to go do something else. You're going to be forced to do something else. Yeah. So
it's good. It's good.
I love it. Xia.
Excellent choice.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Ambition. This really changed. Roll for the Galaxy is really fun. But I still like Race for the Galaxy better. I tend to like cards more than dice, so that's not really a surprise. But when Ambition came along, it added the orange dice. The orange dice of happiness. Okay, it's orange. That's really awesome. But it changed up how you play. And I love the wild element that they added to that, and just the choices, and it's just really good expansion for this game. I would never, in fact, I almost forgot about this one too because I consider it part of the game. But it's one of those that the expansion changed it so much for me that it still stands out. So I remember it, thankfully, as opposed to Xia where I'm like already, it's part of the game. But yeah, in particular, it was that dice, the orange die that changed it up. I really, really, really,
black
really.
Die too.
Yeah. Not as interesting. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, that's a good one. You like the game much, much more than I do, so that's why I didn't make my list. But it's a great expansion. I mean, I wouldn't play without them.
Yep.
So.
There you have it. People trolling us.
Trolling me.
Oh, okay. Nothing new.
Yeah, well. All right, my number 2.
What's your number 2? Is it a crossover?
It might be.
Interesting.
My number 2 is Champions of Midgard Valhalla.
Your number 2?
And the Dark Mountains. So,
Now you're cheating.
No, I'm not cheating. I did this to allow another game to be on my list because the Dark Mountains would probably fall in the 6, 7 range. So I
Okay.
would have had 2 Champions of Midgard expansions on the list.
Okay.
And so I combined them to allow another game to make
Okay.
the list.
Okay,
But
okay.
Valhalla is much better, in my opinion, than Dark Mountains, but they're both amazing. I would never play without both of them at this point. Valhalla gives you, well, in the base game of Champions of Midgard, if you lose some dudes when your little fights, tough. Done. You get nothing. You discard them and you move on. In Valhalla, you can actually use those dead warriors. They go to Valhalla, and you can use them to get rewards.
I love that part so much.
And the both games, they add archers, they add berserkers, they add leaders, they add all sorts of amazing things.
Very cool.
Champions of Midgard itself is an awesome game. One of my favorite games of all time. This one makes it even better than the base game. After playing with Valhalla and Dark Mountains, I look at the base game, and the base game, it seems like it's like we don't have any choices to do anything. And then with the expansions, like I said, anytime you got a worker placement game, if I got more things to do, it is almost always better. And this adds more things to do. So I just love it. Love it. If you like Champions, you have to buy these expansions. I would say these expansions are essential. It's one of the few times I would say these are essential expansions.
Yeah.
Unless you just think that if Champions of Midgard is buttoned up to the heaviest game you want to play, then I wouldn't add more. But if you play heavier games than Champions, you need to add these expansions.
Yep, it's good.
So she's probably gonna talk about it in a minute, but I'll spoil a little bit of hers. But before she was very meh on Champions. She's like, whatever. But then the first time we played the expansion, she's like, I really like this game. So we'll talk about that in a second.
Yep.
In fact, we're probably gonna talk about it right now.
We are, as a matter of fact. This is so eerie that we have so many crossovers like this. But I thought of 2 games while we were.
Look at you! You gave me crap, and you combined them too.
I combined a bunch of them because it's the same game, so I just threw them all together. Anyway, yes, Valhalla and Dark Mountains. Yeah, Champions of Midgard. Okay, Champions of Midgard with Valhalla and Dark Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got more dice, and I tend to just kill people off because my dice rolling sucks in this game. Something awful, so now they have something to do when they die. At least they give me stuff. And I actually had a viable option, a competitive edge, by killing things off now. I actually had a chance to compete with people because before I just lost terribly. And spent more time and pain and effort trying to recruit twice as many guys as I needed because I inevitably killed off twice as many to get the same amount of stuff done. So now, it's not an issue. Now we can get things and accomplish goals, and there are so many other choices that now, too, it's not as likely that you're going to steal the one monster that I was going after or something like that because we're spread out. We've got plans. And I love it, and I like the new monsters realm that you go and attack from. It's just a totally new set of monsters. Big rewards. It's like
massive rewards, but they're very hard to kill,
they're
though.
Super hard to kill. But it's just really, really good. Well done.
Berserkers,
Bravo.
Archers.
Yeah, the
leader
variety.
dice. Oh, it just makes the game amazing.
It is. It really actually makes it really good. I like it, and I was not that crazy. I even less so than he probably realizes. I was like, Champions of Midgard. I'll play it because you like it.
Oh, I love Champions.
Pretty much where I was at. But now I'll play it and be happy. So, there you go. Good stuff.
Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and skip straight to my number 1, and we can say it at the same time.
I'm impressed that this is still your number 1 then. I really thought Champions would have been your number 1.
My number 1 is Tuscany. Well, now Tuscany Essentials, but for us, it's Tuscany.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead. They called it, I think Kabuki Kid, she called it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, this was the first, we're gonna,
we waited,
try this.
2 years.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh. This is great. It changed
felt like 2 years.
viticulture from 2 seasons to 4 and expanded the things that you can do. And it just smoothed out the game even more, which is kind of amazing to me in a way because the game already felt really smooth to us. But there, and then you've got all these different, the mamas and the papas. So you have different starting powers, and you've got your formaggio and your apples or something, all these random things that you can add on now.
Apple and cheese.
Yes, your apples and cheese, and the little special meeples, the specialty meeples, like you have a messenger dude that can run ahead and grab something out of a season ahead, and put a spot down, and all these different things that's going on in the game that at first you're like, wow, this is going to be too much. No, it's not. Somehow it fits. It's almost like, where have you been this whole time? It fits seamlessly together, and it's just a really awesome expansion, and obviously we don't play without it ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, what I like about it is it does add more, but you can actually go and look at the modules and go, okay, what kind of game do I want to play this time? Do I want to just do kind of baseline with a little extras? Do I want to add in a whole, like you said, a whole new board? Do I want to try that out?
Yeah.
You can mix and match which ones you want to play with, and you can really design a game. It can be whatever you want it to be. I mean, you can be all these crazy variable powers, or you can be kind of almost base game-ish.
Yep.
You can add in a new board. You can do new things. It's just if you own Viticulture Essentials, you need to buy Tuscany Essentials. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Unless you just don't like Viticulture Essentials. If you like Viticulture Essentials, you
would like the extra
you
variety.
must buy Tuscany Essentials because
it's really nice.
Tuscany Essential. I always add an S for some reason. Tuscany Essential. So
it's Tuscany.
It's just amazing. This is when I way back to bring this full circle. This was the situation I was talking about where we said that we love a base game so much
we didn't want to mess
that
it
we
up.
did not want to mess it up by buying an expansion. It was my number one game. It was way up on your number one list, your top list, and we was like, okay, fine. We're hearing all this buzz, this amazing feedback from it. Let's go buy it. And we bought it, and it was like, wow. Why'd we wait this long to get this expansion? Yep. I don't even consider them a separate game anymore. It's one game.
That's true.
It's not. Even with a brand new player that I'm introducing this to, I would still use parts of Tuscany. I would use like the variable powers because it makes it
the 4 seasons
more interesting. I don't know if I would jump straight to 4 seasons if they were a newer player.
I would.
Not maybe. It depends if I think they can handle it or not. But there's certain things I would always put in Viticulture that I wouldn't. There's modules I would never play without.
Yep. So I realize as I'm looking while you're talking about other games that I forgot about Mystic Vale.
But that's more of the same.
Yeah, that's true. And Core Worlds, but I had thought about Core Worlds, but I couldn't remember which part of it was the expansion.
There's a little board that you get the little tokens that you put on. That if you get enough tokens, you get a special thing.
Okay. So, yeah, to me, so there was that one. I thought there was another one. Now I've forgotten it.
Are we jumping into... Are we done with Tuscany?
Well, that's number 1.
Are we going to talk more about it, is what I mean?
Oh, I think we've said plenty.
Okay. So I'm actually looking. Look. I took the thing out. Look at that. All right. So here's my short list. We're going to go over this fairly quickly because Rebecca is about to record another top 10, another 10 of her top 100 after this.
Woo!
So here's some of the ones I did not put on my list.
Okay.
That did not make my list.
Okay.
I did not put Scythe on my list because we haven't played with the airships. Now, if we played with the airships, I think the airships might have made it, but the 2 new classes is kind of more the same. Ish.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. If you're doing the no 2 more of the same thing, then yeah, totally.
Then the next one, Blood Rage the Gods.
Oh yeah.
Or the Mystics.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh.
But I love base game Blood Rage. I would almost play without those.
That's
true. It would not bother me to play without those.
That's true.
Then we got Village, Inn, and Port, which I think are cool, but they're not world changing, so I didn't put them on the list. Kingsburg. What would have made my list?
Oh my gosh!
It would have made my list. No, don't give away too much. We have an excuse. The new version of Kingsburg includes the expansion in the box, so that's why I did not put it on my list. If you go out and buy Kingsburg right now, you're getting the Kingsburg expansion.
Okay.
To Forge a Realm or whatever it's called. Dominion Prosperity. I'm shocked it was not on your list.
I don't think of those as expansions. I don't know why. I know this is going to sound really dumb. To me, it's like... They are expansions. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Don't mind me. But
Only Intrigue and the base set are considered regular games.
That's
Everything
true.
else
The
is
rest are
expansion.
considered expansions,
Yes.
and I always forget which is what, and so I'm just like, eh.
It's
horrible, but true.
Agricola, I mentioned that when we were talking. It didn't make
Yes.
the list because it's more of the same. Power-ups just barely made my list. That would have been probably my number 11 would have been power-ups.
Gotcha.
And then I can't read this scribble. Splendor. The
Splendor.
I don't like Splendor, so it didn't make the list.
Oh my gosh! Splendor is good. That's true. I liked the Orient. Is it Splendor Orient? I think it is the Orient expansion out of the 4. I think that one was my favorite. Really liked that one. So, I want to know which ones did you guys like? What expansions do you like that we didn't mention? Or your favorite expansion?
All right, so I'm going to go quickly through the chat.
Okay.
So, someone mentioned the Pegasus expansions for Battlestar Galactica. We have not played it.
Oh, no, that's funny. That's one of the few games that we have never gotten an expansion to. We just love playing the base game.
Someone said War of the Ring, the expansions. Both of them are really good, but I would play War of the Ring without hesitation without them.
That's true.
I don't think they're essential at all. It adds about an hour to the game time, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
So they're awesome. I would play with them if I had
But-
the time, but I wouldn't feel bad if I did not play with them. So that's why they didn't make my list.
They do. You could just line them up outside the board, and they look really cool too.
Someone said various Star Trek expansions. Yes, you're correct. Various Star Trek expansions. Was
Ooh,
right.
Cosmic Encounter.
We only have the base game in
Yeah, that's
Cosmic
true.
Calendar, so we haven't played any of the extra stuff.
Federation Space Hippies. Hey.
Dan put Core World, Zaya, and Lords of Waterdeep. Pretty good guesses. Good
Nice.
guesses. Ken strolling through. Skullport. Someone said Hector hasn't played Skullport.
Oh, really? We can fix this.
Las Vegas expansion. We have. I don't even think I've ever played Las Vegas. Las Vegas is. I think you have like a little 6 little play areas, and you roll dice and you put them on. I think it's like an area control with dice or something.
Oh.
I haven't ever played that.
Oh, what did we play? We played Vegas. Vegas Showdown. Is that what it was called? Vegas.
Yeah, I think it's Vegas Showdown.
I think that's the Vegas we've played.
The one where you put the dice as your little hotels and you're trying to control areas
that
of
one.
places.
That's the one we've had.
Mystic Vale. Someone predicted Mystic Vale for you.
Oh man, yeah, and I totally spaced it because I just think of that all together because it was kind of more the same, but it fit pretty
Smash
seamlessly
Up.
in there. I'm sure there's tons of hate on Smash
There
Up.
is.
Everyone hates Smash
hate
Up.
Smash
I
Up,
understand. I
yeah.
don't care. I still love it.
It's about half and half. There was a little war about I hate Smash Up, I love Smash Up. I hate Smash Up. I love Smash Up. Smash Up needs the right group. I hate Smash Up.
Yeah, Smash Up needs the right group.
All you that said hate Smash Up, Gold Star.
Wow.
Still scrolling.
2 gold stars for
still
the people that
scrolling.
like
I'm
it.
almost all the way through.
Oh, my
Hello
goodness.
to Nathaniel. He said hi. Chimes Up expansion. We only expansion.
TI3.
The time up expansion. The only one we have is the Dice Tower promo pack.
Oh, that's true. We don't
haven't
really
bought
have-
any other ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Baseball Highlights has good expansions.
we rarely play the base game. So.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's not one that we would probably buy right now, but
We don't have Hostage Negotiator.
that sounds like a cool game,
Everyone's calling Tuscany for our number 1.
though. I know, we're so predictable.
Warriors Middle Earth. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. Kabuki Kid agreed that the War of the Ring by itself is fine. I agree with that, but the extras are cool. Someone asked about Euphoria. We have played Euphoria.
We played Euphoria, but I don't think we played... It was just the base game, wasn't it?
Yep.
We don't own it, but we've played it. It was pretty cool. I like that game.
Dun, 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 dun. Camel Up. Catan 5-6 player.
Oh, no!
Tommy, you're such a troll. So I'll tell a story to end.
No.
So the one time we played Catan 6 players, that game, for whatever reason, took like 4.5 hours. I immediately said I would never play Catan again, and I have not played it since.
I've played it since, but it's been like the Star Trek Catan or something.
I have not played Catan since.
But
That is the most horrific. That's one of the few ones I've put on Board Game Geek was the 5 and 6 player expansion for Catan. It got a 1.
Who thought of that? It just was like,
it
no!
It is one of the few ones I've put on Board Game Geek. That was just agonizing. Towards the end, I had a good chance of winning. I just gave up and just started. Whoever was in the lead, I'm like, here, just take stuff. The game was so bad, I was like finishing the game. I don't care who wins. Let's finish this game. It was a game day, and I played that and one other game in a 6-hour game day. Catan. All right, that's enough of that. I'm very opinionated about my things I don't like.
Some people like Catan.
I like Catan. Base game with people who know what they're doing and play quickly. That's fine. Maybe. No. Maybe. But 5 or 6 players, no. A game like that should not take 4 hours to play. So.
You don't like trading for 4 hours for the same 4 kinds of goods?
Firefly, we only have the base game of Firefly.
That's true,
We only have the base game of Imperial Settlers for the last comments.
Oh, we haven't bought the Aztecs or whatever.
Someone mentioned TI3 expansions. I've played with the expansion. I do not own the TI3 expansions.
Show off.
I really enjoyed the TI3 expansions, but honestly, I couldn't tell you which ones are which. Because we played TI3. I played TI3 one time with everything, and that was fun. Mm-hmm. And I played TI3 one time with almost everything, but I couldn't tell you, the capital ships or whatever they're called, which expansion they're in. The other, I couldn't tell you what's in what expansion at all, so I couldn't even begin to tell you. But rumor has it, most of that stuff is in TI4.
Woo-woo.
Most of it.
Woo-woo.
So. Someone mentioned Pitch Car. They keep talking.
Ooh, smart.
I
didn't think about that.
That was on my short list. I didn't list it, but I actually didn't write it down.
Because those bridges and stuff
yeah,
are great.
the Pitch Car, the jump is probably my 12 or 13.
And also his nemesis.
Oh my gosh. All right. Got anything last words? Words of wisdom?
I can't think of anything. You guys thought of some good ones that we forgot about, like Pitch Car and stuff. I was like, wow, that's
yeah, we have the jump, but we don't have, there's one where you like go up and there's a flat area. It's like almost like a bridge.
Ooh, a mesa.
It's like goes up and then there's track can go around and go underneath it. Yeah. We didn't buy that. Because the 2 tracks alone take up more table space than we have, so.
We may have to change that though. Put in all the leaves in the table.
All right.
Yep.
You want to do an advertisement for your Thursday?
So, on Thursday, hold on. Let me see here. I have my next top 10 is 60 through 51. There are 3 new games on there, but only one should have actually been new.
What does that mean? Tune in to find out.
That's right. Same bat time, same bat channel, which is Thursday.
All right, so
this Thursday.
Yes, Thursday.
Which is February 8th.
2018. Exactly.
Look at that.
All right, well, that is that, I guess. Won't you exit us out of here, and we'll get to recording.
You always do that, and then I start, and then you think about 12 other things.
I
jump to that part first.
I won't think of anything. I'll clear my mind.
Challenge accepted.
Like it normally is, it's empty.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate it, and if you are new to the show and enjoy it, hit the subscribe button. And we look forward to seeing you and chatting with you next week. And on Thursday, my top 10-ness for my top 100-ness
top 10
is coming out.
Of the top 100.
I'm making up my own terms. Thank you very much. See, he couldn't make it through without interrupting. I knew it. I win. I get a gold star.
Bye. I can find the off button.